Divyani ji and Aga Sahab. Honorable Speaker, sir, I rise to support the budget for 2026-27 placed before this August House. This is not merely a financial statement, but a reflection of our collective responsibility towards the people of Jammu and Kashmir. Framed in a difficult and sensitive environment, marked by the tragic Pahalgam terror attack, recurring floods and landslide, a wider economic anxieties, the budget is clearly a stabilization and transition budget, guided by realism, restraint and responsibility rather than populism. Honorable Speaker, sir, the budget deserves appreciation for its honesty and maturity, the transparent acknowledgement of revenue constraints, high committed expenditure on salaries, pension and debt servicing, and continued dependence on central assistance strengthens institutional credibility. The estimated GSDP of around 2.9 lakh crore reflects resilience despite constraint. In the present circumstances, fiscal discipline, prudent expenditure management, and improved revenue mobilization are essential to sustain governance and public confidence. The emphasis on capital investment is particularly significant. Continued investment in road, power connectivity, flood control, and resilient infrastructure is vital for Himalayan region exposed to climatic, geographic, and security-related vulnerabilities. Jammu and Kashmir's decision to opt for the special assistance to states for capital investment, that is the SASKI, mirrors the approach adopted by major states such as Kerala, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra, and Uttar Pradesh. While interest-free reform-linked support has been used for urban mobility, infrastructure, water supply, and industrial connectivity, accelerating capital formation without fiscal stress or loss of autonomy. The leveraging of over 1,400 crore of interest-free capital assistance for infrastructure and disaster mitigation lays a foundation for long-term growth, provided execution and monitoring remain strong on the ground. The governance, employment, and sectoral reform had been addressed in a balanced manner. In this context, power sector reforms deserve mention. Installation of smart meters will help reduce losses, improve billing efficiency, and strengthening financial health and stability of the power department. It is also important to note that budget has been preceded by wide consultations with stakeholders across the sectors, and this consultative approach is reflected in its priorities. Such engagement strengthens ownership, improves policy relevance, and is a healthy democratic practice that deserves appreciation. The budget also demonstrates sensitivity towards social welfare and human development. The provisions of 6 LPG cylinders annually for poor families will provide direct relief to vulnerable households and reduce dependence on traditional fuels. Honorable Speaker, sir, agriculture and horticulture rightly remain at the core of this budget. The focus on high-density horticulture, quality planting material, strengthening of nurseries, post-harvest infrastructure, cold storage, controlled atmosphere facilities, and crop insurance is commendable and will help improve productivity and climate resilience. However, for agrarian constituencies like Bijbara, agriculture revival is inseparable from irrigation infrastructure. Nearly 65 to 70% of Anantnag's irrigation network lies in Bijbara, yet key canals and headworks remain neglected. I therefore place on record the urgent need for concretization of Dadi Canal and Nandi Canal, restoration of Nandi headworks at Lasipura, Kulgam, lift irrigation scheme and drought pumps for Naushara, Shalagam, Sirhama, Take Maksud Shah, Shitipura, Wabjan, Kralkot, Panchpura, Kandipura, Katu, Natipura, Subhanpura, Jablipura, and HP Wad. Without assured irrigation, farmer income, security, and climate resilience will remain incomplete. Closely linked is the issue of horticulture marketing. Despite increased production, growers continue to suffer from post-harvest losses, distressed sale, and price manipulation. I urge the immediate completion and operationalization of international fruit and vegetable terminal market at Jablipura, including the 760 shop grading centers, cold storage facilities, railway racks, and allied infrastructure. Effective market intervention scheme, compensation mechanism, and strict action against black marketing are essential. I also urge the government to ensure a dedicated fruit corridor during peak season, keeping last year's road calamities in view to protect farmers from avoidable losses. Honorable Speaker, sir, youth unemployment remains a serious concern. Beyond transparent recruitment of 7,600 appointments completed and fast-tracking of recruitment for 23,800 vacancies, we must expand local skill and self-employment avenues. I strongly advocate the establishment of Government Polytechnic College in Bijbara Belt, preferably at Pushkiri, Naushara or Jablipura. Two to three offering job-oriented courses in agri-processing, food technology, tourism, hospitality, construction and electrical and mechanical trade, supported by structural internship and apprenticeship. I welcome the exploration of regularization mechanism for daily wages, casual laborers and temporary employees, and urge that HTF workers, NYC volunteers, vocational trainers, and similarly placed workers across department also be considered. I also seek financial support for sports infrastructure, including funding for a team-identified playground, AG Veeri cricket ground at Tarbal, and upgradation of Nilandrus cricket stadium at Bijbara. On education, the fee waiver for students from economically weaker sections from class 9 up to the college level is a significant step to ensure continuity in education and prevent dropouts, particularly among rural and marginalized communities. In the backdrop of path-breaking reforms in education, several schools in the Bijbara belt continue to function from dilapidated or rented buildings. These must be renovated and upgraded with digital classroom, laboratories, basic amenities, and improved road connectivity. I also seek upgradation of higher secondary school Sri Gofara into a degree college, declaration of Khanbal Degree College as deemed university, strengthening of South Campus into a full-fledged university as per our commitment, rational expansion of higher education facilities in underserved areas of South Kashmir. Honorable Speaker, sir, healthcare has received due attention through continued investment in hospital, diagnostics, medical education, and primary health care. The expansion of medical colleges and district hospitals is improving access, particularly in remote areas. The commencement of AIIMS at Avantipora will significantly reduce the hardship faced by people of South Kashmir and ease the burden on the overall healthcare system of Union Territory, which reflects human core of this budget. Yet critical gaps persist. I seek immediate construction of a new 100-bedded IPD block at SDH Bijbara in place of existing structure which is flood damaged and declared unsafe, and also upgradation of SDH to District Hospital Bijbara. Replacement of unsafe hospital structure and restoration of transfer staff. Deployment of required specialists. Upgradation of PHC Sri Gofara into a sub-district hospital and construction of new building in place of unsafe hospital structure. Optimal utilization of trauma hospital Bijbara by developing it into a specialized bone and joint hospital for South Kashmir and formally associating it with GMC Anantnag. This will ensure that public investment already made serve South Kashmir effectively. I must place on record a measure of disappointment for inordinate delays in construction of maternity hospital in Anantnag, a long pending demand also serving Kishtwar, Banhal and Ramban. Water security and disaster resilience are existential issues. Pending Amrut drinking water augmentation for Bijbara town, rapid sand filtration plant for Veeri, Sri Gofara, Viday, Donipura, Hamdapura, Subhanpura, and conversion of the Jablipura spring into a water source must be approved on priority. Equally urgent are flood mitigation work along Nala Ledar, Nala Vishav, and River Jhelum, including embankment restoration at repeatedly affected locations in Petnu, Sakres, Trail, Nambal, Petnambal, Laisir, Hugam, Pushkiri, Chandapura, Kanelvan, Thajiwara, Gantalipura, Katri Tank, Adar, Arvani, Laktipura, Bijbara Town, Samthan, Marahama, Natipura, Sathar and Pushtek. Honorable Speaker, sir, urban development must focus on livability rather than cosmetic. I urge timely execution of approved Bijbara beautification project, withdrawal of the hold on remaining components, and productive utilization of idle public assets, including JKTDC property. Sri Gopara, a major economic and transport hub, urgently requires a mini secretariat to decongest the town and improve service delivery. Finally, environmental protection must accompany development. Strict action against illegal construction, unscientific riverbed mining, and ecological degradation requires not only policy intent but adequate budgetary support for enforcement and monitoring. Honorable Speaker, sir, this budget should be judged by the direction it sets. It balances fiscal discipline with development needs, reform with compassion, and growth with dignity. I support it with the expectation that the clearly articulated Bijbara specific and sectoral concerns placed on record today will receive time-bound approval and effective implementation. राह में आजमाइशे हूं तो हौसला शर्त है, कौमें वही आगे बढ़ती हैं जो सब्र से काम लेती है. Thank you very much.